Astrosaurs, Book 3, The Seas of Doom, by Steve Cole, illustrated by Woody Fox. Warning. Think you know about the dinosaurs? Think again. The dinosaurs. Big, stupid, lumbering reptiles, right? All they did was eat, sleep, and roar a bit, right? Died out millions of years ago when a big meteor struck Earth, right? Wrong. The dinosaurs weren't stupid. They may have had small brains, but they used them well. They had big thoughts and big dreams. By the time the meteor hit, the last dinosaur had already left Earth forever. Some species had discovered how to travel through space as early as the Triassic period, and were already enjoying a new life among the stars. No one has found evidence of dinosaur technology yet, but the first fossil bones were found only in 1787, and new finds are being made all the time. The proof is out there, buried in the ground. And the dinosaurs live on, way out in space, even now. They've settled down in a place they call the Jurassic Quadrant, and over the last 65 million years, they've continued to evolve. The dinosaurs we'll be meeting are a part of a special group called the Dinosaur Space Service. Their job is to explore space, to go on exciting missions, and to fight evil and protect the innocent. These heroic herbivores are not just dinosaurs, they are Astrosaurs. Note, the following story has been translated from secret Dinosaur Space Service records. Earthling dinosaur names are used throughout, although some changes have been made for easy reading. The crew of the DSS Sauropod. Captain Treg's Stegosaur. Axorano, First Officer. Gypsy Serene, Communications Officer. And Iggy Tooth, Chief Engineer. The map of the Jurassic Quadrant. Chapter 1. A Soggy Mission. In orbit, high above the planet Aqua Minor, Captain Treg's Stegosaur was waiting to start his next adventure. He was waiting very impatiently. Admiral Rosso had better call us soon, Teggs grumbled, chomping on the delicious moss that covered his control pint. I can't wait to find out why we've been sent to the soggiest planet in the Jurassic Quadrant. I'm sure it won't be much longer, Captain, said Arxorano, the Triceratops beside him. Sitting around twiddling his thumbs wasn't easy for the young daredevil Stegosaurus. He didn't have any thumbs, for one thing. Teggs commanded the DSS Sauropod, the finest ship in the Dinosaur Space Service. He and his crew were all highly trained Astrosaurs. They flew through space helping plant eaters in peril, wherever the planet, whatever the risk. But why had the Sauropod been sent to a world full of fish? Well, maybe Admiral Rosso thinks we need a holiday by the seaside, said Iggy Tooth, the Sauropod's chief engineer. A brave iguanodon, he was good with machines and fiercely loyal to his captain. I don't really like the seaside. I'm not keen on fish. I met a fish with no eyes once. That would make it a fish. A fish. Get it? Called Gypsy Serene from her seat. Gypsy was a duck-billed hadrosaur with scaly, stripy skin. She handled the ship's communications and much more besides. Anyway, there is no seaside on Aqua Minor. Only sea. Calling Captain Treggs? The gruff voice of Admiral Rosso, the crusty old Barbosaurus, in charge of Dinosaur Space Service, suddenly crackled from the Sauropod speakers. Captain Treggs, can you hear me? At last, sputtered Treggs through a mouthful of moss. He rose from the control pit, and now the crew could see his entire body, 8 meters long from tail to beak, with jagged bony plates running down his orange-brown back. Gypsy Serene trotted over to Teggs. Shall I put the Admiral on the scanner screen, Captain? She asked. Yes, please, said Teggs. Gypsy whistled the order through her snout to the Dimorphodon. These plucky pterosaurs were the Sauropod's flight crew, and they loved to be bossed around. The team leader flapped down and pecked the scanner control happily with his beak. A moment later, Admiral Rosso's wrinkly face appeared. "Ah, there you are, Tegs," said the old Barosaurus. "Sorry to keep you waiting, but running an entire space fleet keeps me busy. And when you get to my age..." Tegs saluted. "What's up, sir?" "It's what's down that's worrying us," said Admiral Rosso. "Down below." Arx and Gypsy swapped puzzled looks, but Tegs just smiled at the thought of a brand new adventure at last. "Something very big and very dangerous is swimming around in the seas of Aqua Minor," the Admiral went on. "The Cryptocleidos who fish there are getting very worried." Tegs frowned. "Crypto who?" "A race of sea reptiles from the planet Kryptos," Arx explained. "They have run out of food in their own world, so now they fish the waters of Aqua Minor for squid and shellfish. Then they send it by rocket to the folks back home." "Very good, Arx." Admiral Rosso smiled. "Tegs, you have a first-rate first officer there." "He's the best," Tegs agreed. "So, what's been happening on Aqua Minor?" 5 undersea fish factories have been wrecked, along with several submarines," Admiral Rosso sighed. "But no one knows who's doing it, or why." Tegs nodded. "And you want us to find out?" "That's right," said Admiral Rosso. "The Cryptocleidos may not be vegetarians, but they're still our friends and neighbors in space. They've asked us for help in solving this mystery." "So, what are we waiting for?" asked Tegs. "Let's get to Aqua Minor and see what we can find." Once Admiral Rosso had given them a map and some orders, Tegs, Gypsy, and Arx went to the shuttle bay. The air was smoky and thick with the smell of burning dung that fueled the engines. Iggy Tooth was waiting for them by the shuttle. "The engines are all fired up, Captain," said the stocky iguanodon. "We're ready to go." Once they were all safely strapped in, the shuttle blasted off. Soon they were soaring through the brilliant blue skies of Aqua Minor. "Wow," said Tegs, peering through the window. "What a view! There's nothing to see but sea!" Below them, the green ocean stretched out endlessly into the horizon. Enormous spaceships floated above the waves, trailing fishing nets behind them. Tegs watched one spaceship rise higher than the rest. Its net was bulging with shimmering, silvery shellfish that sparkled in the bright sunlight. "No wonder the Cryptocleidos need our help," said Arx. "This is a very big ocean for something nasty to hide in." Where are we going to park the shuttle?" asked Iggy. One of their floating factories," said Gypsy, checking her wrist tracker. "It's not far from here." It was the first place to be attacked," said Tegs. "We'll take a look and search for clues." Soon the floating factory came into sight. It looked like a large square of shiny metal, covered in long huts. In the middle of the square, a small gray shape started waving at them. "Who's that?" asked Iggy as they came in to land. "Oh, that must be Commander Cripes," said Arx. "He'll be showing us around." The shuttle landed safely, and its doors slid open. A strong smell of salty fish filled the air. As the dinosaurs stepped outside, Cripes came waddling up to greet them. Like all Cryptocleidos, he looked like a cross between a seal and a Loch Ness monster. He had a long neck and 4 flat flippers, and his belly dragged on the ground as he moved. A broad-brimmed hat was perched on his head, and a shiny cape kept the sun off his long, smooth back. "Welcome to Aqua Minor, guys," said Cripes. "Admiral Rosso said that you were on your way. Glad you could make it." "Thanks," said Tegs. "This is Arx, and this is Iggy." Cripes smiled. "And this cute little hadrosaur just has to be Gypsy." He took her hoof in his flipper and kissed it. "Now, let me show you around. This factory stretches down almost to the seabed." Cripes led them into a hut, and then into a large elevator. It took them down deep under the water. When it finally stopped, Tegs led the way out into a large, crumbling workplace. The machines and conveyor belts stood silent. The walls were cracked. The floor was flooded with smelly, oily water. Hard to believe that this place was brand new 6 weeks ago, isn't it? Hard to believe that this place was brand new 6 weeks ago, isn't it? Cripes sighed. Just 2 weeks after opening, this happened. Tegs stared around. Something has torn this whole place apart. And this was just the first attack, Cripes reminded him. In the last month, there have been lots more. Every new factory we build in this area gets wrecked. What are they used for anyway? Asked Gypsy. The floating factories prepare the fish we catch before we send it back home to feed our people, Cripes explained. On the bottom levels, we suck in thousands of ammonites and belemnite. On the bottom levels, we suck in thousands of ammonites and belemnites from the pins on the seabed. We take off the shells and rinse them clean, and then a submarine delivers them here for packaging. We're under the sea, aren't we? Asked Iggy. So how come this place isn't full of water? We cryptocleidos live on land as well as in the sea, Cripes reminded him. The food is easier to pack when it's not floating around all over the place. Arx plodded over to a wall and prodded a button with his longest horn. Everybody jumped as the machine sparked to life. The conveyor belt jerked forward. Metal scoops swung down from the wonky ceiling. Cool! The machines still work! Tegs shouted over all the noise. Well, what do they do? The fish plop out of this pipe here onto the conveyor belt, Cripes explained over the noise. They're wrapped up in the wrapping machine and sent upstairs to the spaceships, but nothing has come through that pipe for weeks, and in the meantime, the people back home are going hungry. Tegs felt sad watching the ruined machines clanking away with no purpose, but before he could turn them off, he felt the ground shake beneath his feet. That's not the builders starting work on the repairs already, is it? Asked Gypsy nervously. Suddenly, the whole factory rocked as if a giant had kicked it. The Astrosaurs were knocked off their feet. The cracks in the walls widened. The floor broke open beneath them and seawater began rushing in. Well, never mind the builders, cried Tegs over the noise of the machines and the churning water. I think the thing that attacked this place before has come back to finish it off.